Okay, greeting everybody. Again, my name is Haytham Ali. I'll be presenting to you some refreshments about proposal preparation for this cycle of NPRP 8. We've realized a lot of people have been asking questions. This is a new system, so this is the first cycle for NPRP that people are using QGrant to prepare their proposal. We appreciate your patience and we wish you all good luck. I will start the presentation of walking you through the proposal preparation sections, all the different sections. We will take your questions at the end of the presentation. There is two ways you can ask your question or you can write it. There is a little hand, you can raise the hand, and then our moderator, Mr. Wa'il Khadr, will take people in turn for their questions. I logged in at our test site, which is identical to the QGrant. I have two LOIs that I can start preparing. And as you know, you can go to proposal preparation and click on proposal preparation. You get two tables. The first one is a timeline of all the active programs. The one on the bottom is for the proposals that you registered for all the different programs. In my case, I only have NPRP 8. I have 3 proposals. I can start preparing them. If you click on the link on the right-hand side, it says prepare proposal. That will take you to the proposal preparation screen. If you notice on the left-hand side, you have a list of menu or items that you will need to complete all of them before you can successfully submit your proposal. I'm not going to go through reading all of them, but you can see them, their proposal summary, QNRS, institution, and so on. And the last one down is the submit proposal. If you look at the first page, the home screen, I encourage you to read the tips. Please, whenever you see tips in the screen, it's helpful that if you read it, and it will answer a lot of questions that some of you had, and you submit a query for us to answer. This is what I submitted in my LOI, and remember, this is a dummy data, this is a test data. If I click on my proposal summary, in the summary, I have my title, the summary of the proposal. There is a field for benefit to Qatar, and if any comment to QNRF, in addition to my Frascati classifications. I can click on edit at the bottom of the page, and that will allow me to edit even the proposal title, the summary, and it allow me to add my benefit to Qatar section that was not in the LOI area. Okay. Once I've done editing this section, I simply click on save, and I proceed to the next section. Okay. I can then click on QNRS, and this is my QNRS selection from the LOI stage. If I'm happy with it, I can keep it. If I would like to change it a bit, I can also do that again by clicking on the edit in the bottom, and I can click on the different areas of QNRS, and I can add my additions here. You can also, the justification for the QNRS, you will be able also to edit it if you see fit, and click on save. Complete QNRS selection first if you edit it, and then click on save. Okay, so this is the QNRS section. After that, the institutions. Institutions are basically the submitting institution, which is if you are in Qatar and your institution is a research office, approved research office with QNRF, automatically your institution will be the submitting institution. You will not be able to change the submitting institution. And this is the case for me. I was registered in a submitting institution. So the information of the submitting institution appeared here by default along with my information. If you look at the bottom, there is the collaborative institution tab right here. And this is where you can add collaborative institution in your project. If you have inside Qatar collaborator or outside collaboration, you can add that institution right here. And the way to do that is to click on yes, add more collaborative institution. You select the institution country, for instance, and you select the institution and you upload the supporting letter from that institution. You wait until the button becomes green and you click on add. Just in case you're trying to add a collaborative institution that's not already in our database, after you select the country, you can add new institution by clicking on this green. I really encourage you not to add a new institution unless you're sure they're not already in the database. We get a lot of duplicate for people trying to just simply add the new institution. If you're trying to add Qatar University, for instance, make sure it's there and don't just type Qatar space University or the University of Qatar or something. Try to use the legal name of the institution. The institution will have to be approved first by QNRF, so you'll need to allow at least 24 hours for that to happen. Okay. This concludes the institution part. After I added my collaborative institution, I can go to the personnel section. In here, by default, my information will be populated since I'm the lead PI. Okay. Then I've added already one collaborative key investigator in the project. I can keep adding more. If I add new, I added a PI, so now I'm going to add a consultant. You click on the radio button consultant, and it's only one consultant role. And then I'm going to use my other test user that I use and click on load participant detail. These participants already registered in our system. Okay, so you have to add a role description for the consultant. So I'm just going to use some dummy test data to save time. And click on save. And now I have added the consultant, it's the last row. Now you have to realize that after you add them, an invitation will go, automatic email will go to them from the system telling them that you have invited them to participate in your proposal, and they have to log into the system and approve the request. Okay, you cannot submit your proposal unless they accept or deny, or you remove them. There is a delete button at the end here. If somebody was basically taking a long time and they don't respond to you and you cannot get in touch with them and you decide to remove them, you can click on delete right here and you can delete them. But just leaving them in with the approval pending, you will not be able to submit your proposal. The second section we're going to is the research plan, and you can choose whether it's in Arabic research plan or English, and then you need to upload the file. And save, and that's very simple to do. If you made changes, you can come back and change the file up to the deadline for proposal submission to the RO. After this deadline, the RO might return the proposal for you for modification, but this section will be locked. You will not be able to update the research plan after that deadline. So keep that in mind, please. If you need your RO to look at it, for whatever reason, you need to submit it before the submission. And if they need to open it for you, you can open it, they can open it, but it needs to happen. You need to submit it again before the submission deadline. Okay. The timeline and tasks is the next section. This section, first you have to decide on the duration of the proposal. My proposal will be 3 years. Click on save. after that, the timeline and specific aim section open up for me. It starts with an objective. Each objective will have tasks under it, and each task will have participants. So this is the order of the grids. So click on new objective on the top. I will add my first objective. And this is the description of my objective, and I will click on save. Okay. Now, I will add the task that belong to this objective. My objective is already, by default, it's 1, since it's already 1. And my task title, task 1, and it starts in block 1, month 1, until month 10, for instance. And I add a description, and I click on save. I add another task. Task 2, and it will start at block 6, and it's going to end at block 16, and some description. Now I have task 1 and task 2. Okay. If you notice, I didn't add any assignment yet for this task. If you notice the left arrow, it's a greater than sign right next to the task. If you click on it, it will expand, and then you will be able to see the grid inside if I added participants. You can either click on add new assignments or assign participants to assign existing participants to the task. And a drop down will show you the available participant from these institutions. Now you have to remember it's only available me, since I'm the only one approved in the project. The other two did not approve their participation yet. Once they approve their participation, you'll be able to see them in this drop down. So in year 1, I'm going to work 50 days in this task. The cost per day for me is 200, and I click on save. The system automatically add my participant summary information in the grid down. You'll be able also to see it if you expand the first, and the system calculated my total, which is a multiplication of the number of days by the cost per day. Okay. I'll also add myself in task 2. And in task 2, I'm going to work 30 days at the same rate and save. If you notice, my action from the top grids will always at the end show at the summary. The participation summary will show you the participant, in which year, for which objective and task, number of days and cost per day, and then their total. Okay. This is basically how you do adding the objective and adding task and assigning participants to the task. The second left menu we're going to see is the budget, where I see a lot of people have questions about the budget. I think the budget is the trickiest part or the hardest part of the proposal preparation, aside from the research plan, of course. We have lots of rules that you need to comply with. And each time you comply with the rule, a green arrow will show up in the status. And each time you're not complying with the rule, a red arrow will show up. So until you get all of these statuses green, you will only then be able to submit your proposal. Okay? And all of these guidelines or rules are already in the RFP. So I'm not really going to go through them. If you want to add an equipment, you will click in equipment right here, personnel, travel, miscellaneous, and indirect cost. Although I encourage you not to touch the indirect cost until you finish completely with your budget, and you keep this the last thing you do, because If you decide to enter a percentage and you go do something else, this percentage will change. And this is basically most of the questions we're getting on the budget. If you look at the summary on the right-hand side, if you see them helpful, great. If you don't see them helpful, you can minimize it and it will disappear if it's confusing you, okay? Until the next time you log in, of course. So I'm going to click on equipment. And I'm going to add a new equipment. For my institution. And equipment, as per the RFP, there are three types: equipment, capital equipment, consumable supplies, and material. So mine is capital equipment for Qatar National Research Fund for year 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to be purchasing the same equipment, only one, and the unit price of this equipment is $15,000, and this is my justification. And the name of the equipment something. And click on save. And this way I captured, I'm going to buy the same equipment 3 times, 1 time in each year, rather than every time say add new, add new, add new. So I already inserted 3 times that I'm buying this equipment, 1 time in year 1, year 2, and year 3. Okay, so this is the equipment. The personnel, when you click on personnel, I've already identified my personnel on the other side. And in here you can view them. Okay, and you can edit if you want, or you can delete them. If you do your personnel properly while you do the task and aims, most of your work here is done in the personnel section. The travel, it's basically the same format. All the grids works the same. Add new. We made it now yellow, which is more obvious than before. Before it was a blend of another green color, so it was maybe hard for some people to figure out how can they add new and where it is. But once you get used to it, it's pretty simple. You have to identify from where to where the person is traveling. In my case, I'll choose from Qatar to, I don't know, Algeria. From Qatar National Research Fund. And year 1, 2, and 3, I'll travel. Which one?
Other institution.
From Northwestern, because I'm from Northwestern. The other 2 did not approve their participation yet. The ticket price is $3,000. Accommodation is $1,000, and per diem is $2,000. Okay, and the travel justification, and save. This is helpful if you're doing the same trip, but if you're doing any different combination, it's not going to work. Now, the travel will have to be associated with a task. So since I don't have task in year 3, I could not travel in year 3. I only added task for me in year 1 and year 2. That's why you see this message on the bottom. Save. I removed year 3. I'll be able to save year 1 and year 2 travel now. I thought I did year. Oh, only year 1. Okay. There you go. This is my travel. If I want to edit it, if you look on the right-hand side, there is a pencil. you can click on that to edit. If you want to delete it, you can click on the X to delete the travel. Let's go to miscellaneous. Now miscellaneous are Allahu Akbar, Allah. Miscellaneous, the rule in miscellaneous is one line item per institution per year. So I have the following institutions in my proposal, and my proposal is 3 years, so I have 3 lines per institution per year. And you might choose that you enter 0. You don't need to buy any miscellaneous at this year for that institution. Okay, I will just add for Qatar University, Northwestern, and I click on save. And please look at the allowable items. There is a link for the allowable, not allowable items to be purchased in the miscellaneous. I really encourage you to read that before, because you need to testify that we will comply with that. Now, once you've done the miscellaneous, we can look at the statuses on the top. See, before these two were green, now they're red, and it will tell you why. Because year 1 is the annual travel budget for the combined direct is less than 10% of the year. Mine is 14% in year 1 because I don't have other budgets covered. I didn't really prepare a full budget, so I'm not going to go through that, but this is the exercise you need to go through to make sure that you comply with all these percentage. Now, I just want to point out that look at these view budget, view detail budget, and view detail per institution. If you click on it, it will give you a different view of the budget. This is equipment, personnel, tuition if any, and then travel, miscellaneous, and indirect cost. So the more you enter, you will see all of them here, and this is basically will be a tally of every single thing you enter in your budget. If we go back, you'll be able to see the budget again, but by different summary. If you look at the right-hand side, this is by institution, and this is by year, and this is by category. So we try to give you the budget by every single combination that's possible, just to make things easy for you. Please note that the inside and outside percentage at the bottom here, this is based on the institution. If the institution is inside Qatar, then this is an inside effort. If it's outside, then it's outside. This is how we calculate inside and outside. I will go to indirect cost now. And as I said, I recommended that you do this the last. The indirect cost should be the last thing you do in the budget. You don't have to give every institution indirect cost if you choose, but if you, what's important is indirect cost cannot exceed 20% of the direct cost per year for the project. Okay, so the figure you will enter here, 5% for instance, when I do 5%, this 5% of the project, so in year 1, 5% of the project, that means it's 102, because nothing from Qatar University, because I only did my effort and my travel, and I'm at Northwestern. So I'll do 5% from the budget at Northwestern in year 1, will translate to 2,050, and that equal to 8.54% of Northwestern University year 1 budget. Okay, and then I click on save on that. Now, if I go back and I change any other figure in the budget, this percentage, the amount will not change, but the percentage will change. So that's why I make sure that this is the percent you would like to see by doing this last, the indirect cost. After we completed the budget, we'll go to the other different sections quickly. For instance, resources and publications are very simple and self-explanatory, I believe. You will choose in the resources the institution from the drop-down list, and then you have to complete these 5 sections: lab space, personnel, facilities, office and computers, and major equipment available for your project at this institution. So you will do this for each one of the institutions collaborating with you on the project, and click on save at the bottom after each selection, and you enter the fields. The publication, automatically a grid will show up with publication from all the key investigators that are approved in your project. And then you have to select from those the relevant one by clicking on add. Ethical compliance is next. If your project need to submit ethical compliance in the area of human, vertebrate, or hazardous material, you click on yes, and then you have to answer further questions. If it's yes inside, which type among from these 6. But you have to answer the questions even if it's no, because there is no defaults. Other grants, KNRF required that you tell us about any other grants that you had in the last 3 years for you as a lead PI or any of the key investigators or consultants in the project. If you had KNRF grants, they will show up automatically. If you need to add non-KNRF grants, then you select the team member who got the grant, the title of the proposal, performance period, the name of funding agency and the funding amount, and tell us the abstracts and the outcome of that project. This information is very helpful for the peer reviewer who will review your proposal, and you should be able to add that information easily. There is a potential IP section as well. I think it's self-explanatory. There is an export control section. And again, I really encourage you to read the green text in all the pages before you answer the questions. Risk and mitigation, miscellaneous documents. This is any document related to the project that might help the reviewer with your project that you think they need it. You might be able to add it here. You might be able to, or you are allowed to add multiple miscellaneous files. The declaration, this is, you need to accept this declaration by reading all of it and agree to the different section at the bottom. You click on the tick mark and save. There is the review and print. This will give you a full view of your whole proposal. And you might also be able to print it. There is a printer-friendly version at the right-hand side. Now, note, on the menu, now some items became green, checklisted, and some still yellow. All the green ones, that mean at least you fulfill the required fields. We gathered the information at least in all the fields, but it's just to aid you which section you didn't touch or not complete yet, or they have issues. Like the budget, it will show in yellow because the checklist inside is not really completed, and the other section because I did not really complete them. We have another checklist in addition to the one in the budget, at the time you submit your proposal. This checklist will tell you basically in each of these different sections which one is complete, which is not, and as far as the budget, why it's not complete. I think this is a proposal preparation for MPRP 8 in a nutshell. I know you have lots of questions, so I will leave more time for your questions and to go over any particular item that you would like me to go through. I'll ask Wael now to see if we have any questions. I can hear him. We can hear him.
Yes, Haitham, thank you. Let me start take the questions. Let me start by Sajida. Please go ahead. Sajida.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, welcome. What's your question, please?
Well, so far everything was so clear, so thank you. I don't think I have any questions for now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate your coming.
Good, good. Thank you. Vian Ahmed, please go ahead.
I can't really hear Vian.
Me too.
Okay, we'll take next. We'll take Abdulrazak Garbaji.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I have really two questions. First of all, a big part of my project expenses is related to distributing the questionnaires and constructing and conducting structured interviews. So how do I enter this in the budget? You did explain the budget, but you did not touch how to cover the data collection part. And I have another question. Do I ask now or I wait?
Yeah, go ahead. Ask both your questions at the same time.
Now, the other question, please. In case if in one of my projects we decided to change the core LPI, is it possible?
You're trying to change the core LPI of MPRP 8 right now?
I did not hear you well.
You're trying to change the core LPI of which project?
Of the second project. I'm not trying. In case if we decided to do that, is it possible, please? The one that's related to SME.
Okay. The
code one.
One second. Can you hear me now better?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
With regard to your second question, changing the co-lead PI, you can change the co-lead PI after. Now, if you're preparing the proposal, you're free to do whatever you want by removing or adding.
Okay.
If you are awarded later on, we have change request. where you can also submit a change request to change the co-lead PI. But changing personnel on the project, it has its approval level. Either the submitting institution will need to approve or QNRF will need to approve. There is a matrix for changes that you can always look at. As far as the data collections, I will ask Ms. Nadine from QNRF also to address this issue for you, where you can add the budget for data collection. 1 second, I'll give the microphone to Nadine. Nadine, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, Haitham. Regarding the data collection, you can add it under miscellaneous. If it's more than 5%, you can add it in the equipment section, and you can add justification for it.
Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you.
I hope this answered your question, Abdulrazak.
Sorry. Can I add, I want to be sure that I understand what she said. I can add it under equipment. I'm talking
Yes.
about, interviews and questionnaires.
You can add it under miscellaneous, but if its budget is more than 5%, so you can add it under equipment, yes, and put your justification for this.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Can I ask one more question, please?
fast, because I want to give a chance to other people also.
Okay, fast. I have a consultant I'm trying to add as a key investigator, but the system says pending.
Okay.
Still,
Yeah, I got it. Every new registered participant, will need to go through. We need to go through approval. So if he registered recently, he need to be approved by QNRF first. If you are able to invite him and he's pending, that means he needs to approve the participation request. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. We'll take Abi Samira. Go ahead, please. Amira. Okay, I'll take Ahmed Khalifa. Ahmed?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Haitham, yes, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. It's a very nice presentation. With respect to, we need to do some experiment in the experimental lab in USA. And it means we have to add that in our budget. How can we add it?
Okay, you have a collaborative institution in the US, right?
Yes, and they have an experimental lab in economics. So in this case, we need their help for this part.
Yeah, sure.
How can we add the cost for that?
It's a task, right? So you will add it in the task and in the effort, and then you will select the effort institution. You will select that collaborative institution in the US as the effort institution.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Giatano Bolombo, go ahead, please.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Go ahead.
Good. My question is whether how I can budget a service provided by a company which is not a collaborative institution, basically a consultant. Should I put it under equipment consumable or under miscellaneous?
I'm sorry, one more time. How can you budget a consultant?
This budget again. So it's if I have to hire a company to provide a specific service for the project, but this company is not a collaborative institution, how I budget it, as a consultant or as a service provider? And this will be under equipment or under miscellaneous?
No, it's not equipment, it's not miscellaneous. You don't have a way to budget for service providers. You can add them as a consultant if it's a specific area that you would like the help with, and then you have to give justification. That would be first in the personnel. You have to decide who's the consultant in the company who's going to do the effort for you. If I understand correctly, Nadine.
Yes, but if it's not a person, they can add the service as in the miscellaneous.
If it's not exceeding an amount, or it's open?
Yeah, it's not only consultation if they need a service.
Okay.
But if it exceeds 5%, they can budget it in the equipment.
In the equipment. Okay. Thank you.
If it's more than 5%, so if it's more than 5%, I put it under equipment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll take Widad Salim. Widad, go ahead, please. Widad Salim. Okay. We'll take next Vian Ahmed. Vian. Vian, we can't hear you. If you can hear us. Okay. We'll take Sudak Wang. Wang, can you hear us? Indo Minon? Yes, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Mr. Haitham, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. So I have a question. I have added research assistants to the grant, and I have written the role description. I have added research assistants to the grant, and I have written the role description.
Yeah.
And I want to edit the role description. I realized that I have made a mistake, and I have already assigned tasks for these research assistants, but I realized that I cannot edit the role description. Is there a way to do that?
Right now, the only way is to delete it and just add them again. I'm not sure if we will be able to add that feature right now, but probably we'll consider lesson learned for next cycle.
Okay, so the mistake I did is that I wrote 2 years where I actually should write 3 years. So is it fine, like if later on I can modify that?
That cannot be modified later on.
Can be.
No, cannot be.
Okay, do you think this mistake will affect my, it's just in the role description I made a mistake, but in the tasks, in the timeline, and the budget, everything is for 3 years. It's fine, but it's just what I wrote there is a mistake.
Nadine?
You know, the section.
I would refer this to Nadine.
Okay, that's okay for us, but I think for people it will be confusing. That's better to modify because they will read the justification and also they will read the participation in each task.
No, I mean, see in the personal section and the role description, there I wrote by mistake. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
So you think I should?
Yeah, it's better to modify it because it will be confusing.
Okay, okay. So
right.
this, and the only way to modify it is that I have to delete and redo it again and assign these participants again to every task.
Yeah, unfortunately for this cycle.
How many participants? It's just
Okay.
consultant, right?
I have
No, it's
two
research.
research assistants.
Two. Yeah, okay, sorry. I guess the safest bet will be for you to do that again. But we'll definitely
Okay,
take that
okay,
into
thank you.
consideration for next cycle to give the ability to edit.
And the next cycle I can.
All right, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
Khaitam
you're
Nabil.
welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. We'll take سهام القرضاوي. دكتور سهام تفضل. Hello. Hello. Okay. I'll take Jihad Mohammed, Professor Jihad. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Haitham, for your presentation. I have many questions to address to you and your good team. Okay. First of all, we expected from the system to be more helpful than the previous one. Currently, yes, there are many improvements, but still, really, we have some difficulties to use the system. Anyway, what I'm expecting is first to see, for example, as it has been done in the previous system, for any participant, the total number of days, in addition, the fund allocated for this participant per year, or the system is not possible to do so. This means we have to do the calculation before entering the data into the system, and if there is an error, we have to redo the calculation through the system in order to understand how many days every participant does have and what is the allocated fund. This is right?
That's not right.
Yes, but I mean, is the current system can display to me the current number of days, the total, I mean, per year, and the allocated fund?
Can you still see my screen?
I can see it, yes.
Okay.
What I see is I see the number of days per task, and I cannot see the total per person and per fund. This means I can see, for example, Mr. X is in task 1 and task 2, etc., for a certain number of days. Yeah. However, I cannot see the total per year, not in the task specifically. Per year, how many days I have been allocated for this person, and what is the fund that I have allocated to this person.
Per year, you want participants?
Yes, per year. I want per year. Yes, exactly. I want to see per year, for example, did I allocate the requested amount for that person per year, yearly? For example, a RA in Qatar University should not receive less or more than 55,000. Do I allocate this sum to him or not? I cannot know. He should work, let us say, 264 days per year. Do I allocate this right number through the system or not? I cannot see. I cannot see per year.
That can be added in future years, but I don't think that jeopardizing your submission for the proposal right now, Dr. Jihad.
Yes, sure. What I can tell you what I have found, and maybe you can take it into consideration in the next year, inshallah.
Inshallah.
My second remark that I found in the system, when I set the number of days for a RA for 200, and I set, for example, $170 per day as per diem, the system gave me 17,000 instead of 34,000. So maybe you can double check later on this point and to see why the result is not accurate.
Have you submitted tickets regarding the specific questions? Because I cannot really answer them because I don't have your data. So
yeah. Anyway, so you just take it into consideration for checking, and you can see when you allocate to RA 200 days and you set, for example, 170 per day, the system display on as multiplication 17,000 rather than 34,000.
Okay, one second, please. Okay,
Yes.
And unfortunately, I cannot address specific issues with specific numbers without seeing the full data. It will be helpful for both of us if you submit a query, and I will make sure to look at it and to rectify it, and I will get back to you on that. Just because a lot of people are listening, and this is really confusing for them as well.
And I get always the same answer. No solution that is clear.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can tell you, I submitted 3 tickets so far. I received similar answers, but without really explaining why the system is giving 17,000 instead of 34,000.
You have my email. I will give you my email. You can send me exactly your query, and I will make sure to get you the answer you require.
I can tell you also, if you would like to listen from me the remark, or I can go directly to my questions.
No, if you have general questions that will benefit everybody listening, that will be great. But specific issues, I'd like to delay them.
Okay. That's good. I understood that for a PI, he can come in Qatar, right? From, let us say, from USA to Qatar. However, if I would like to put a trip for him, generally, according to the policy, it can be considered from some Qatari budget, not from the USA budget. Or in the system, I cannot really assign to this person specifically the amount to be taken from the Qatari budget. How I can do so?
You're talking about travel budget, correct?
I'm talking about travel budget for a PI coming, let us say, from USA to Qatar. The trip is from USA Doha. Generally, this amount should be taken, according to my understanding and previous knowledge, from the QU part, not from US part budget.
Yes.
However,
it's up to you. You have the option to take it either from his institution in the US or from the submitting institution.
How from the submitting institution? This is my question. How from the submitting institution? Because when I select his institution, I cannot really allocate from Qatar University. I should allocate from his institution, not from Qatar University. I cannot see his name in Qatar University anymore.
You should be able to see his name if you select Qatar University on this drop down here. Selecting right now.
If I select Qatar University, I will see the people in Qatar University. I cannot see his name. Absolutely not.
Let's double check with you on that also. Okay. I will take your call offline, and I will open your proposal, and we can do it one by one.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yes. My second question. It seems that there is no more travel for a consultant or per diem, right? This means consultant should not come from outside Qatar.
Nadine?
Or
yes, there is no travel for consultant, but he can be from outside Qatar.
Yeah, no travel for him. How much I can pay him? You mentioned in your proposal something like no more than KI. Which KI? KI outside Qatar, or KI in the proposal, or KI in Qatar? For example, I have KI outside Qatar who is receiving $1,300 per day as per diem. I'm receiving $600 per day per diem. How much I can allocate to a consultant? The previous amount or the amount in Qatar?
First of all, you should allocate how much he takes, but it shouldn't exceed the KI, any KI on the proposal. Yeah, the highest one.
The highest one is accepted, right?
But it should be less than the KI. Yeah.
Sure, but the KI in the proposal, maybe the KI in USA is taking the double.
But usually the PIs should be less than the lead PI.
Okay. So it should be rectified then through the system. You are addressing the lead PI, not the PIs outside Qatar, because many of them are taking more than what we are taking in Qatar as per diem.
Okay.
Right.
Also, you have to remember your institution policy with regard to this. We will give the guideline, but any specific, you need to rely on Qatar University since they are the submitting institution. Are you still there? Hello?
Sorry, I did not follow. Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. Now, I have an answer for you with regard to the travel. If you select the from country, we don't care, whatever he's coming from, let's say the US, and the to country, Qatar, only to Qatar.
Yes.
Then select the institution as Qatar University. All the KI in the project will show up in the traveler.
No, I cannot see him. I cannot see him.
Can you do it now? And I'm sure you will be able to.
I will try later on. I will try later on. Okay, I understood your remark. I will try to do so.
Okay. Only if you're traveling to Qatar.
Yes, he is. Yes, surely he is traveling to Qatar mainly.
Okay. In that case, you'll be able to see him. If you can't see him, then there is a problem, and submit a ticket, and we'll be able to solve it for you.
Okay.
I want to stop you here. I want to take somebody else because I have a lot of people waiting.
Good, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll take Muhammad Mustafa. Dr. Muhammad, please go ahead.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mr. Haytham, thank you very much for a very good presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I have a couple of questions. One I wrote by message as well. We are doing a project related to education, and we need to have a mobile application developed for this. So, where do we put this in the budget?
Nadine, do you want to take that?
Sorry, I didn't get the questions
correctly.
correctly.
Let me repeat. For our project, we need to develop one mobile application. So this is just one-time service. So where do we put this in the budget?
Under equipment.
Under equipment?
Yes.
Okay, right. Fine. Okay. The second thing is that in our project, we will be utilizing 10 undergraduate students per year. So do we put them as unnamed participants from the beginning as personnel?
Yes, you have to select the unnamed roles. Yeah.
Okay, so we have to put all 10 of them as undergraduate 1, undergraduate 2, undergraduate 3 like this, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right. So the final one is we want to buy laptop and software. So if you put them in miscellaneous, but we want them in the first year, but you said there should be one miscellaneous item under each institution. So how do we handle this?
No, you can from the materials, consumable, and supplies to buy the laptops.
And software as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And
okay,
you have
fine.
to put justifications also.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that we do, right, okay. I think perfect, right? So that answers my questions. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We'll take Sue, are you with us? Sue Duck? Okay. Vian Ahmed? Vian?
Can't talk, I can't hear.
Oh, okay, we can hear you now. Can you go ahead?
Oh, fantastic. Oh, no.
Go ahead, Sue. I'm sorry, we can't hear you. We lost you again. We'll take Mohammed Hussein. Mohammed, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, good. I have two questions actually. One of them regarding the number of days for the RA. Here in Qatar, my knowledge that is basically I should basically use a number of 260 days per year for the research associate. With regard to the collaborating institution outside Qatar, I find this difficult. I mean, talking to my collaborator, he's telling me that, well, basically for them to appoint full-time PhD student or RA or whatever, they do the calculations based on 365 actually days. So, well, with that in mind, basically it will always be the case that basically their time is going to be higher than us. Do you see what I'm saying?
Nadine?
Yes, I see, but for us, we don't put limits on the number of days for the research associates. If this is something coming from the institutions, so you have to ask the institution.
So you're talking about my institution here in Qatar, so
yes.
I need to sort this
with them, yeah.
Okay, what if I try to sort this out with their institution, asking them to basically, hire him full-time, but, well, find a way to adjust the budget for less number of days?
Yeah, you can do this in collaboration with your research office inside Qatar. You can consult them and agree on this.
Right. Can I ask another question, please?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Right. The other thing is regarding adding a consultant. Well, I just would like to know if, well, basically I added the consultant on Q Grants. He already registered on the system, but he's telling me that he did not receive invitation. He did not receive email to join the proposal, while I already invited him.
Okay, if you invited him, he will be able to go to, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, and then he will be able to see participation request in the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that, and then he will be able to see all the people all the projects that he have been invited to participate in this section. Okay, in this grid, he will see the proposal number, the title, and the role, and the action required from him. Either he can accept or reject the participation. And he can click to see the detail of the proposal.
Okay, even though he did not receive an email.
Exactly, even if he didn't receive an email.
Okay.
If he does not see it in this section, that means there is something wrong. You either send it to a wrong person, or he registered with 2 emails or something like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck. I'll take next question from Mun'im Jimny. Mun'im, go ahead, please.
Yes, Dr. Haytham Ali Nadine and the rest of the team.
Yes, hi, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and for being patient as well, listening to us and answering all the questions. I learned so much today, and thank you very much again for all of you guys.
No problem.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
With regard to the publications, you ticked boxes earlier on, and those boxes were related to the publications of the participants. Am I right?
Yes.
So we won't have to indicate the number of publications that are going to be like outcomes after the research project. Is it just a matter of fact, tick the boxes of those who have already uploaded their publications? Am I right?
Yes, for the project publications, we require a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 published papers or manuscript accepted for publication. These will come from the people who participated or key investigators in your project, and you have to select among all of their publication, you have to select the most relevant to this project.
Right, okay, I get you. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The second question. With regard to the external institutions that could be collaborating with us, how far could we attribute part of the budget to that, please?
The rules we have are 65-35. 65% of the budget need to be spent inside Qatar, and 35% could be spent outside Qatar.
Right.
And then the other rule, of course, we have is about the indirect cost and stuff, and they're all available in the dashboard or the checklist of the budget.
Excellent. Is there any different, last question, if you don't mind?
No problem, go ahead.
In terms of consultant, although a few of the colleagues have highlighted a few things about them, is there any difference between appointing an internal consultant from Qatar and an external consultant outside Qatar?
As far as the system, there is no difference, but I will let Nadine comment if she has anything else to add.
No, we don't have a difference between internal and external consultant, but in any way you have to make sure that the consultants are eligible according to the definition in the RFP.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.
For the presentation. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day and good luck. We'll take the next question from Georgios Matinogolo. I apologize for not pronouncing your name correctly. Go ahead, please. Georgios?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I have written some questions, and it's mostly about the functionality of the site. Although that it became easier, I can see some difficulties concerning the speed. I mean, every time I'm trying to load something, it takes more than a minute sometimes. And this ends up with a screen which freezes, and many times I'm not sure if I have already uploaded what I want to upload or not. Also, there is a refresh rate in some pages where I have to fill up some fields, let's say about the resources, about the potential applications, etc. And many times this one ends up with me writing somewhere else because the cursor disappears from the field. Is there any chance to make it, let's say, to fix these problems in the near future?
Well, thank you for your comment. We only get better by comments like this. We usually recommend in all the text fields, you have the write-up in Word outside and just copy-paste.
Okay.
This is the best scenario to do because you don't want to lose what you wrote and you want to keep it for record. Just have it ready, copy-paste it, go on.
Okay. And about the...
Go ahead.
Excuse me? Okay. I mean, my main problem is not this one, is the first one, that when I was trying to upload something, it took, I mean, something like ages. And this one couldn't help me by being concentrated in what I'm uploading. I was losing all my, let's say, fields, and I don't know. Is there any chance? Is it because of the server? Is it because it's too loaded? I don't know.
Are you local? Where are you? Are you in Qatar or outside?
Oh, no, in Qatar.
In Qatar. Most of, actually all of our upload documents must be 4 meg or less, so it's really a small file. It should not take a long time, right?
It's not only the files. I mean, even when I was pressing the buttons just to change the page or to change the tab, especially during the budget or during some justifications about the travels, I don't know. I found a hard time doing that.
No problem. We will take your query in consideration, but I also can suggest that you kind of work on a different network. If you're in the office, try to work on a different network at home, or just a different network and see if it's going to be any better.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Because I know, especially like you guys at the branch campuses, you work through the home campus network. Sometimes that have latency.
Yes, but I experienced the same problem when I was working from my home, which is a Qatar-based network, is Ooredoo. So I thought that it's because of the heavy load of these days. I mean, about everybody submitting proposals using your server. So maybe this is the reason.
No, not that heavy with especially with the documents. No problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Aduna Canlas. Aduna, go ahead, please. Aduna Canlas. Okay. I have some questions in writing. I can go through them as well. Sibida Khurshid, you have a question about technical problems in the budget. This is specific questions. I will go through them and will respond to you. Another question from Abis Amira. I have a question about 20% overhead. How does the system calculate the 20%? I'm getting the wrong values in Q grants when I enter 20% for all the institutions. This is a very important question, and I will display it again on the screen. This is in the indirect cost. The percentage we are showing in the indirect cost, I will just enter the other proposal because I have no budget in this one. I think it's this one. The percentage you enter is of the total project direct cost for that year. So let's say if you have 3-4 institutions and you enter 20%, we're not calculating 20% of that institution per year direct costs. It's not that, it's the other way around. Okay, so if you enter 20% for one institution, you already exhausted all the indirect costs for that year for one institution. Okay, so this is something you need to be careful of, and select the percentage that will make sense for all your institutions. The next question is there is a way to record the webinar? We are recording the webinar, and very shortly we will put it in our YouTube channel. Does the consultant need a supporting letter from his institution? Nadine?
No, it doesn't. Okay. No, it doesn't require. The consultant doesn't require supporting letter.
Excellent, thank you. What if I have a collaborator from X institution and then he or she moves to Y institution after submitting the proposal? What is the grant status in this case?
I answered it.
You go ahead, yeah. You want to take a shot at it?
Yeah, if you can answer this also in the system, how it comes.
Okay, no problem. If a person moves during the period between the submitting the grant until the award decision, unfortunately, we don't have a way for them to change affiliation. The affiliation change will happen only if they are awarded, and at that time, we will open the system for them to change their affiliation. It becomes tricky if they have an active awarded projects, not only this one, which is going to be in between. Okay? If it's a specific case that you know this X is going to move, a person is going to move from X to Y, maybe it's better to get the Y supporting letters and stuff, and he starts with Y. But we know sometimes it's outside your hand, so it's a case by case. We'll treat it like that. I hope this answered your question, Yahya. Next, do all collaborators need to have 5 publication or just the lead PI? Nadine?
Just the lead PI.
Okay. What if the participant is an RA, i.e. his name is not in the system?
The RA does not require to be named or registered. They can be added as unnamed role.
Exactly. These are called unnamed roles for RA, for research assistants, for lab technicians and the like. We don't require their names at this stage, but we will ask their names if the proposal is awarded in the progress report, the biannual progress reports that we collect. I see that some people are just leaving the webinar, and I wanted to mention, please make sure you submit ahead of time. Don't wait until the deadline, and send us support tickets or issues in the last day or two. We get a lot of tickets, and we said, we posted it, we emailed it, that we will require a minimum of 48 hours to resolve your issues. Please don't jeopardize your proposal submission by waiting until the last minute. We really encourage you to submit ahead of time as early as you can. And remember, the only thing will be locked is the research plan. So even if your proposal needs some tweaking here and there, your research office can always reopen it for you for modification. Okay, so don't wait until the last minute. I'm going to answer some more questions. Where can I put conference fees since it is not allowed in the miscellaneous section? Nadine?
No, it should be in the miscellaneous section.
He's saying since it's not allowed in the miscellaneous section.
No, I think there's events and meeting, and they are confusing with this.
Okay.
It's not the conference fees.
All right, thank you. In the budget, what category does annotation task fall under? Nadine?
Sorry, please, can you repeat?
In the budget, what category does annotation tasks fall under?
Miscellaneous.
In the miscellaneous, okay. Thank you. Is it okay to include PI names in the research plan under the preliminary data or studies?
Yes, no problem. Add them in the research plan.
Okay.
But don't add the new. You have to add them in the sections of the template.
Repeat that, I think, Nadine, one more time. We couldn't hear you well.
Yes, because we will disqualify any proposal that has new added sections in the research plan. So if you have anything to add, you can add it under the current sections in the template. And this cannot be changed after submission. Please make sure to have all the sections correct and the number of pages on the research plan.
Okay. Great, thank you. How to edit items in miscellaneous section? It appears system does not let you edit once miscellaneous item has been inserted. This is not true, actually. You can edit the miscellaneous items in the same area where you click on miscellaneous. You will see a grid with all the items you can edit and then save at the bottom. If we expect to hire someone full-time, how many days per year should we count? The question is very vague. In what capacity? Is he unnamed role? Is he RA? What's role exactly? We don't put caps on the number of days for key investigators or consultants, or multiple lines for each year for each institution showed up in indirect cost. Please send us a support ticket with your project number and we will support you immediately with this issue. Vian Ahmed, I'm sorry, we could not hear you back then. I'll give you another chance if you're still out here. Vian, I don't even see a mic connected to your session, so I'm sorry. Colleague registered on the system, however, I cannot add him as a consultant. I get a message, the participant is not registered applicant. Please check the email address. This is exactly what it says. Make sure that he's using this email address he gave you. Even a space, a dot, or a comma will make a difference. Make sure he's registered and he's approved by QNRF before you attempt to add him to your project. I do not have a microphone for my question. A question is, where can I put conference fees since it's not allowed in the miscellaneous? I think already Nadine answered this and says it's allowed in the miscellaneous. You can add conference fees in the miscellaneous. Would you please tell us why we should tick the box on the publication section? I thought this section should indicate any outcome that would be produced. I think we addressed this, Mun'im, right? The publication, you're adding them. you're adding the personnel publication to the project. The project requires 3 to 5 publications most related to the proposal, to be selected from the publications of all the key investigators. My question is about the vetting system. Vian, what's the question about the vetting system? See if she wrote it down somewhere. I guess I'll come to it. I have so many questions. I need to have a mobile application. Okay, we answered this one. Mohammed, can we remove or add one of the PIs now or change her status to consultant? Yes, you can. You can delete him and then you can add him as a consultant and he need to approve again. How do I add a budget for postdoc and graduate students? Same as participant and consultant. So you go through the same process. The refresh rate of the page, I think we already addressed this one. Thank you, Gregorius, for your comments. Dishan Aziz, for data collection interview surveys, will we require ethical compliance or not? Yes, we do. If it's applicable, just like anything else, you have to select yes, and then you have to provide the ethical compliance requirements. Is it possible to invite consultant to the proposal through the submission site? Yes, you invite the consultant just like you invite the key investigators. They have to register first in the system. They will give you the email they use to register. You will enter that email in the personnel area and you select their role as a consultant, and that's normal, just like you invite any other key investigator. First of all, thank you. I have a question. Where to add the budget? A blood test price, for example, knowing that it's from most of the budget. Huh? I think this is like data collection, maybe, Nadine?
Yes, should be under equipment.
If it's more than 5%, right? Or even if it's less?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay. So this is treated the same as the data collection. If it's more than 5%, it will be under equipment. If it's less than 5%, it can be under the miscellaneous. In the task assignment, my university has limited working hours for every investigator, and I need to add the same investigator for another task, but without duplicating the hours and rate. In that regard, you have to coordinate with your institution. QNRF does not have a say in that. Can you please answer the question about the overhead? I'm having a technical problem with the microphone. 20%. 20%. It's the indirect cost is 20% of the direct cost. If the direct cost is 100, then the indirect cost is 20. I have a question about 20% overhead. How does the system calculate 20%? I'm getting the wrong values. Okay, sorry. This is the same one we answered, which is when you enter the percentage, if you have multiple institutions and you enter a percentage for one institution as 20%, we are taking 20% of the total project budget per year, of the total project direct cost per year. So be careful with that regard. And please read the comment on top of the indirect cost page. It explains it very clearly. In the task assignment, my university has limited working hours. We answer this question. 20%, we answer that question. I can't use the microphone. For the version, for the travel section, how do we enter if the traveler is, for example, lead PI or research associate or research associate? The travel is meant only for travel, but a choice among the 3 personnel. You have to select who's traveling in the travel section. The travel section cannot be vague. So you have to say the traveling person name or whoever, and you have to set the destination from to and the rest of the details. Thank you for the sessions with graduate students and collaborative institutions. Thank you for this helping session. Can we have graduate students in the collaborative institutions if outside Qatar, Nadine?
They can have graduate students. And any collaborative institutions in the project.
So collaborative institution in or outside, they can have graduate student. Thank you.
Yes.
Can you also please send this? Okay, I'll send you the email. Thank you for clarifying the queries. Have a good day. You too. Thank you. Please repeat the answers about how to have the travel for a USPI to Qatar on the budget allocated to Qatar. Okay. When you select the travel from anywhere in the world to Qatar and then select the submitting institution from the institution drop-down, all the personnel available in this project will show up in this area. And then you select that person's name and you complete the rest of the profile. That means you are charging this travel cost to the submitting institution. Okay, I hope this is clear. The audio is muted. I could not get it fixed. Sorry, Vian, no problem. Muhammad, your voice started to have an echo. Okay, I hope it's better now. Would like to add PhD students. However, his PhD student has not been hired. How do we add his or her salary on the budget, Nadine?
They have to have a collaborative institution, and the PhD student should be from one of these collaborative institutions.
I think he's saying the PhD students has not been hired yet.
But he has to budget it from one of the collaborative institutions. It cannot be like this.
Okay. I hope this is clear, Nota. If it's not, you can contact us by support and then somebody will explain it further for you.
Yeah, I can explain.
Okay, thanks. When we travel for a conference, we do not know the destination. How to tackle this? Mehdi?
In the travel, they should put at least the expected country.
And I guess if it changed later, they can change it by change request.
Yeah, during the awarded, if the proposal is awarded.
Okay, excellent. I have a problem with other grants, does not save. Please contact us by our support line and somebody will look at your specific question. Does the Qatar Institute need to submit the grant, i.e. not institute outside Qatar? Yes. Only submitting institutions which are research office approved by QNRF inside Qatar are allowed to submit or to vet proposals. If conference fee can be included in miscellaneous, do we need to specify the conference and fees? Nadine?
Sorry, I didn't get.
If conference fees can be included in miscellaneous, do we need to specify the conference and fees?
Yeah, they add justification.
Okay. For total indirect cost 20% or less, if collaboration between two institutions, does it mean each institution indirect cost should be less than 10%? We don't care how you distribute the indirect cost for your submitting and collaborative institution. The only restriction we are putting is the total indirect cost need to be 20% or less of the total direct cost per year. Can we have subsections without numbers in the research plan? Can these be in bold?
Yes, they can add subsections, but don't add new sections.
Okay. Same question again from somebody else. How many days has a year? 365. We're taking 365 in our system. Yes, sorry, I should have, no problem. All PI provide their CVs. Some PIs have 500 papers. Is it correct to presume that only some selected papers can be uploaded in the publication section rather than all? Yes, of course, this is understood. We don't restrict the PIs from adding as many publications as they have or they would like to add. But when you select in the proposal publication, minimum 3 and maximum 5. And you need to select the ones that are most relevant to the research, the one that will be viewed favorably, I guess, by the peer reviewer. I hope that answers your question. Do we need ethical compliance before submission? Here you're indicating or you're alerting us that there is ethical compliance will be required. In the pre-funding phase, further communication if your project will to be awarded with QNRF, and then they will collect the needed information from you at that time. About other grants, what if one is still active but for a previous employment? It has my name, but the money is sent to my previous lab, for example. Do we have to put it in the other grants section? Other grants means in the last 3 years, any grants you got with no regard to where you used to work, we need to know, because we are interested in grants you got or any of the other key investigators. This is helpful for the peer reviewer because you will put the abstract and the outcome of that grant. Nadine, do you have anything else to add here?
No, they have to add all their other grants, even if it's in their old employment.
Excellent, thank you. I don't hear anything. Yeah, so sorry, we tried to give you another chance to speak, but we couldn't hear you. Could you please post a recorded version of today's entire webinar online and send us the link? Yes, we will do that. We're recording it, and once we convert it, we'll put it in YouTube and we'll share the link. I'm online. Can you allow me to ask? Yes, of course. Using the microphone. Sure, Muhammad. Just 1 second. I'll finish with the written question and I'll come back to you, Muhammad Hussein. What you meant by per diem in the travel? How much is assigned? Do we assign a value for per diem, Nadine?
Yes, we take the UN per diem. They have to. We have a link in the QNRF travel policy. They have to click on it. After they enter there, there is a map. They can select the country that they are going to, the destination, and automatically the per diem will appear there. They have to take it from there.
Okay, so we follow the UN per diem standard, and you can follow the link we have in our website that will take you and help you figure out the per diem for the destination you're traveling to. Thank you, you're welcome. Do we ask the Qatar Institute for an estimated cost for a PhD? What is the max amount? I believe this is something you can figure out with the institute, that whether it's in Qatar or outside Qatar. Is it possible for you to display the questions you are replying to? I see the overview page. I'm sorry, webinar does not allow me to show the questions. I don't know why. What is the reference style in the research plan? Should it be 2010 or Shinton Puri 2010 or Shinton Nadine?
We allow any standard. You can use any standard in the references.
Okay, is the workload budgeted in working days or in calendar days? If the working day, what's the max number of working days in a year? Nadine?
In the system, we allow until 365, like as you mentioned. So it's up to them to budget.
Yes. And it's based on your institution policy, whatever your institution will allow. Why do we need to put expected outcome research plan on a website? Nadine?
We have section plans for dissemination results.
Okay, great.
The section plans for dissemination results. Yeah.
All right. The last question I'm taking is from Ahmed Khalifa. Can you repeat the per diem rate? The per diem, we follow the United Nations per diem. So whatever the rate for the per diem, you just take it from their website. We have a link in our website to the UN per diem website. I will give Mohammed, he asked for a chance to ask a question in the mic. Mohammed Hassan, go ahead.
Haitham, thank you. You answered all my questions. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will take 2 more questions. I still have Mohammed Hussein. Mohammed, do you have a question? Abdul Razak Jibril, do you have a question? Abdul Razak Garbaji?
Yes, yes. I'm back again.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, yes, sir. I just want to be sure that I understood you. If the budget is 300,000 per year, and most of it will be spent in the GC area as data collection via the PI. Yeah. But you said that 65% of the budget should be spent in Qatar.
Yes.
Then how can we, match this? Because the PI say, for instance, it costs $50 in their state to administer and collect a questionnaire. Now, when I computed the cost for the GCC, I found that it's almost half of the budget, which means it's outside the Qatar.
And unfortunately, we cannot do anything about this. This is the regulation of the program. You cannot spend more than you cannot spend more than 35% outside Qatar.
Okay, now if we spend it, does it have to go under the budget of each institute?
Yes, of course. Because we ask for detailed budget. So when you enter the budget, you have to give us the detail where the money is going.
Okay, but how do I divide the 300 into different institutes if I have, like 6-7 universities partners?
You know who's going to work in what, right?
Yes.
So that has to be related to the effort and the equipment, if you're buying equipment, and to the travel, if there is travel, miscellaneous, and so on.
And the task, I have, clear-cut task, I allocated task and days, working days. So that should be enough, right?
That, and from this point of view, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, and have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Vian Ahmed, Vian, can you hear us? Vian Ahmed? Okay. This will conclude our presentation for today. I really hope it was beneficial. I thank you very much for attending it. We will post it to our YouTube channel once we convert it, and I hope the conversion will be fine. If you have any questions related to MPRP 8 cycle submission, please submit a ticket via our support link, which is inside the application for you, as well as it's in our website. It's available right here. We will do our best to answer your question, again, within 48 hours, if not sooner. Again, please go ahead and submit your proposals ahead of the deadline. There is only 9 days, I believe, and the countdown is starting. We wish best of luck to everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.